One more team to talk about on this episode. That is Brighton, who are in their 10th consecutive Premier League season. What a time. They kick off home to Aston Villa on Sunday. But before that, they've got some Thursday night soccer coming. The Conference League playoff round, everybody. Woo! They are going to Tromsø. About as far north in Europe as you could go, home of the midnight sun. Lovely, nice, long trip to start the campaign with for Brighton. I imagine it won't be a strong starting first 11 going to Norway for that one, but that's where you'll see them first in action on Thursday. Last season, they finished 8th. That was good enough for the aforementioned Conference League qualification. They were 6th on match day 34. They lost 3 of their last 4 games. They fell away a bit towards the end, as did a few teams, actually. A few teams I'm previewing. They celebrated getting into Europe after a 3-0 loss to Man United on the last day, which you may remember. The 4th round of both cups as well. They finished between 6th and 11th in the last 5 seasons. So 8th is right in the Brighton zone for them. Their top scorer last season was Danny Welbeck. He gone. We can talk about that a bit later as well. I think for this season, obviously they're going to try and get in the Brighton zone around the 8th position finish again, but the Conference League I think has to be a really strong target for this Brighton team this year, in a similar way to sort of West Ham and Crystal Palace going all the way. This is, I think, the teams of Brighton's ilk are treating this as easier to progress in than the domestic cups, so I think that's a very good target for them. Thursday to Sunday, as Taylor mentioned, that sort of cadence of 2 games a week, which Bournemouth will have, is a rhythm for them that will be a new challenge, well, for the first time since 2024 for them. So what have they done over the summer, Brighton? A lot of defensive rebuilding. Big centre-back signing from Tottenham is Luka Vuskovic, teenager who's coming in because they sold a centre-back to Tottenham as well. Yep. More on him shortly. They paid 46 million for him. Spurs paid 12 million for Vuskovic, so he's appreciated quite well, should we say.
That's a big fee. Like, Vuskovic was good in the Bundesliga, and I kind of thought Spurs might try and integrate him, but what did you say, around 46 million euros? Yeah. That's a lot. Like, they're going to have to flip. I mean, the whole Brighton model is they flip these players, right? They clearly have a lot of stock in him because he's going to have to be good for them to sell him for more than that.
Well, Brighton, as was alluded to, sports betting is in their blood. They made a bet here, haven't they? They traded Van Hecker for Vuskovic, basically. A younger model, pocketed the difference there. So we'll see if that bet pays off for Brighton. It'll be intriguing to see if it does. But Vuskovic was at Hamburg, obviously, last season, very highly rated. Also, is on free kick duties. Might be threatening your set piece record for Brentford, Graham. You never know. Great positioning play from the back as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in Premier League. Pascal Struijk has come in as a centre back from Leeds as well. And at right back, replacing Joel Veltman, who's gone to West Ham, we have Costinha coming in from Olympiacos as well. So very much a defensive rebuild from Brighton, as noted, and a slightly different profile, younger, more athletic profile of players for baby boy Hurtzler here, aiming for a bit more stability at the back than last season. A couple of other players I should mention also, Jadok Johanna coming in for 21.5 million from AIK in Sweden. He'll be on the right side of attack as well. But as I mentioned,
by the way, he's a player. Johanna, he is a real player. I think
he's a soccer player. Yes.
Is he going to come up later more, Ryan, or should I do my spiel now?
Do your spiel. Do it.
Okay. Really dynamic, bright winger who didn't play a whole lot of league minutes in the Allsvenskan in the Swedish top flight, but had interest from Champions League level clubs, and basically his Swedish club came out and said, we had bigger offers on the table, but he wanted to go to Brighton because he wanted to play now and really get a chance to get minutes. I think it's a brilliant move for him as a player, and I think he could be sort of the next Yankuba Minte, who I was a huge fan of and still am a huge fan of, but he's absolutely someone to watch on the wing as well.
There you go. Praise from Lowery. Wonderful stuff. Zadok Johanna, look out for him as well. They have, as noted, lost a couple of key players. Danny Welbeck has gone to Chelsea, as we noted, and Jan-Paul van Hecker has gone to Tottenham the other way from Vuskovic. That is a bet they have made this season. They are very much bankrolled by sports betting's Tony Bloom as well, who's got interest in Hearts. Will his heart be torn away from his boyhood club? I don't think so, but he's got his interest in other places as well, has Tony Bloom. Fabian Baby Boy Hurtzler, still the manager at Brighton. He's got a new 3-year contract back in May. He's got 2 seasons in the bag already with Brighton. Sometimes a energetic presence on the sidelines. Is that what we'll say for Hurtzler? I think that's what we'll say. Very much aligned with Brighton in terms of their identity and their long-term plan. He's getting increasingly popular with fans as well as Hurtzler and delivering good underlying numbers. The defensive rebuild I mentioned presumably part of the Hurtzler plan here. Control possession, intelligent build-up patterns, midfield strong at progressing the ball, doing all the good Brighton things, liking to attack from the channels as well. Pressing intensity and chance creation, all big hallmarks of the baby boy that we know about at this point. We'll see lots of that lovely stuff going ahead this season. They want the ball. They're not scared to get it vertical, I suppose, is a difference maybe with Hurtzler than De Zerbi with Brighton. Maybe a bit less ponderous in the defensive third, I would say. Just getting it forward, I suppose, is a bit more what Hurtzler's all about. A bit more lightning and thunder, shall we say, for them. Looking to create overloads in the final thirds, get the wingers with the one-on-ones. All the fashionable stuff that all the big clubs are doing, basically, is what Brighton are doing there as well. A stat from The Guardian, the two Manchester clubs were the only sides who scored more Premier League goals than Brighton in regular play last season. That's a pretty impressive stat, I'd say, as well. So maybe that speaks to the high intensity, the vertical nature of Hurtzler's play as well. Some other key players to quickly touch on for Brighton. Chalampos Kostoulas, who's filling in for the departed Danny Welbeck, showed a bit of promise last season. Might need to show a bit more promise this season, I would suggest. Also, his compatriot Stefanos Tsimas is in contention. He's coming off an ACL injury as well. There is a feeling among the Brighton contingent they need to sign a striker. Probably the biggest weakness they have is a proven goal scorer with the departure of Danny Welbeck. So we'll see. They're great at build-up play. They're great at the chance creation. But we did see last season when Welbeck was out, they did sort of suffer when, the bit of putting the ball in the net, which is quite the important bit. So Kostoulas will be expected to fill that role, I would imagine. Also important for this team is the injuries to a few players. Matoma staying healthy is going to be very important for Brighton this season. I believe he's crocked at the moment. Evan Ferguson as well, getting back into some good form, I think will be pivotal for Brighton too. I believe he's carrying an injury at the moment as well.
When is he not? Ferguson.
Yeah.
I honestly had forgotten about him. Seems a long time ago that people were talking about him as a £100 million striker. But
when he was hot stuff, right? So,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just the last couple of years have been dire for him. He just can't stay fit. So.
It's a shame. So hopefully he gets a bit more consistency in his game too. My very specific prediction is that the defensive rebuild will pay dividends for Brighton and Hove Albion. At least 12 clean sheets in the Premier League this season. That's what I'm going for. New defensive structure, younger, more athletic. They kept 10 clean sheets last season, so I'm going for at least 2 more this season. I'm putting faith in that newly built defence, the bet that they've made paying off. I think last season they conceded 46, the third fewest in the league. I think they're going to be quite good defensively. They're going to be rigid. They're going to be finishing in the Brighton zone. I think they're going to get a deep run in the Conference League as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Brighton and Hove Albion.
Hey! I like it.
Cool. Thanks.
Joe approves.
Good. Hopefully Brighton approve too, because it seems like I suppose a lot of teams it's similar with Brighton. So the slight tweaking of the formula they're doing here. So we shall see. Evolution, not revolution, etc. and so on. There we go.